How exciting. Precept 10. Now we're getting down. Now we're going to get to some core issues. Now we're going to get real. Not that it hasn't been real to now, but we want to bring our spirituality into our world, into our daily living, or what does it really matter? Sometimes spirituality is an abstract, or it's an ideal, an idea, or something we believe in. But when you can take your spirituality and just bring it into your day-to-day living, that's when it makes a real difference in your life. That's where the rubber meets the road. Attraction is made that moves you into a higher level of consciousness, a greater awareness of God's presence, and thus find more joy and happiness and peace. So I've been teaching now for over 30 years, and with students from all over the world, different cultures and genders, and coming from different places, different levels of spiritual development. And there's certain commonalities that you can see. There's things that really help people a lot, and there's things that seem to get in the way a lot. And I wanted to share that with you and share my own experience with you. I want to get real with you about my own personal experience. And one of the things that was the most powerful for me was connecting with my guru. Now, I was very lucky. I connected with Christ as a child. My grandmother was a Baptist. She'd set me on her knee and read the Bible, and I didn't always understand what it meant, but I felt so much love. I just fell in love with Jesus through my grandma and the teachings of the Bible. They just make sense. They're intuitive. The truth is intuitive. But then we went to different churches, and I started questioning. At 16, I got a calling to climb to the top of the Palisades Glacier and Mount Palisade. This is in the Sierra Nevada mountains of Southern California. We're up somewhere around 14,000 feet, and I'm just sitting on this mountain at 16, meditating and praying, beseeching God to reveal himself and to give me guidance. And that's when God spoke to me, and I got this inspiration to study all the religions of the world and write my first book, Looking for God. And that was really kind of like my basic training. And so in this process of studying all the different religious organizations and sects within them, shamanistic paths, New Age teachings, arcane teachings, mystery schools, and all the different Babas and Bhagwans and Swamis and saints, I saw that my mind gained a lot of information. I thought I knew a lot, but it didn't bring me into the bliss. It wasn't until I got to this point where I was really ready to surrender. And it's not a surrender like you're in a war and you've lost the war, so you're surrendering. It's the kind of surrender when you meet someone and you want to have a relationship but you've been holding back, and you finally surrender your guard. You finally let down your guard and you let someone love you or let someone show you. And when I finally got to that place, I'd already studied with so many gurus, and they were all wonderful. But I knew I still had to find a teacher. And so I closed my eyes and I prayed. And I got this vision of this, guru. He had the gray hair and the beard and the sweet look on his face, but I didn't recognize him. I didn't know his name. But as fate would have it, and these are the kind of things you want to start looking at, the coincidences, the uncanny timing of events, or if something comes up, or maybe you hear a word or something, you connect with it. You want to listen to that. Start listening to your psychic mind, and you will start getting clues that can help you in your business, in your relationships, and in your spiritual path. So for me, I got this inclination to go to the Bodhi Tree bookstore in Los Angeles, which was a couple-hour drive from where I lived, because back then we didn't have the internet. I was doing research for my book on world religions, and I needed some obscure book. I think it was the Upanishads I was looking for. And there on the bookstore, there was a bulletin board, and pinned on it was this flyer to see one Yogi Raj Vitatri Maharishi, who was a Kundalini master from the Tamil Nadu state of India, from a long line of Tamil Siddhas. I've heard about this lineage. but I hadn't seen or heard him yet. Turns out he was very, very famous in India, but still getting known in America. And he was going to be speaking. Well, guess who that was? That was the man who I'd had the vision of the day before. So then I took it, obviously, seeing that image on the flyer as a sign, there's the guru that you connected with in meditation right there. So of course the next day I went there and all of a sudden I felt all this bliss. And I finally realized this is what I've been looking for. I finally had someone, and he wasn't looking for my money, he wasn't trying to take control of me or tell me how to live my life. He was just sharing love and giving us these practices like I'm giving you, and they changed my life, and I've seen them change the lives of millions of people all over the world. And the difference it takes is when you get to that place where you're really ready to commit. You're really ready to dedicate yourself. You're really open to receive. There's in India they have a word called bhakti, which is devotion. And part of that is devotion to the guru and the service. But the true guru lies within you. So a good guru as a person, whether I hold that role or another person, our job is to help you find that light within yourself. So I want to invite you to breathe in and see that there is an inner guru guiding you, and that inner guru will guide you to the people, places, and situations you need. The answers will come to you when you are ready. And so you're ready, or you wouldn't be here listening to me in this moment. So I want to invite you to take a deep breath. Close your eyes, roll your eyes up, and gaze into your mind's eye. Let's do a little meditation. And if you feel ready to commit, in whatever way, to whatever, to your Creator, to yourself. You don't need to commit to me. I'm committed to helping you, but I place no obligations on you. You're just loved. So take a deep breath, roll your eyes up, gaze into your mind's eye, and ask yourself, how committed am I? How dedicated am I? How real is enlightenment for you and attaining enlightenment? And are you ready to just awaken your consciousness? Or are you looking for full mastery of your consciousness? Gaze into your mind's eye and let's put our hands up and see if we can recalibrate. And I'll talk about calibration for a moment. As you inhale, feel the energy moving from my hands into yours. Absorb the Shakti pot so you can attune and get used to yet another level. So each time you watch this show, each time you listen to this talk, you're going to move up yet another notch. So just hold that in your mind as you breathe in and feel yourself lifting up. And as you breathe out, spreading that energy out. Just let me take you there. It's like having a guide. I'm just taking you for a walk up into the kingdom, and then you can hang out here as long as you want. Breathe in, absorb, allow yourself to feel, let the love in. And now you can bring your hands down, and if you haven't already done so, close your eyes, roll your eyes up, gaze into your mind's eye. So this concept of allowing, of it being grace, that we're not trying, we stop doing and we begin to allow. We begin to see what already is. Instead of trying to get there, we behold this presence that is glowing within us and simply give it room to shine through us. So then it can shine through what we think and say and do. And then that light will be expressed and be shared with everyone you see, everywhere you go, all the time, every day. And this is why you were here, to uplift the consciousness of the planet and to share this higher vibration and awareness that you're developing with everyone you see, everywhere you go, all the time, every day, or as much as possible. Just stay connected and keep conducting at a higher level of consciousness. That's good for you, that's good for everyone. So breathe in. So what holds us back? My own life is perhaps a good example. There was a period of time where I had to work in the field of finance. I have a master's in financial economics. I was working as an investment banker. I was involved in the dot-com boom. I did IPOs and mergers and acquisitions and venture capital, some of the technology for digital streaming. I was a part of that whole thing. And then it all dropped. All of a sudden it all went away. Thank God. But at the time, I thought, oh my God, what happened? I was making a fortune, it all went away. I thought I was being successful, and it all went away. All of a sudden I wasn't successful. So thought others, or my own mind. Everything just went away. It's like the rug got pulled out from under me. You ever had that happen? I imagine you have, to some extent, and that's why I wanted to share this story with you. At the time, it seemed like the most horrible thing ever, and everybody kind of left. I thought all these people I thought were my friends and relationships, everything seemed to go upside down all of a sudden. Everybody went away, didn't want to help. So it was a total breaking down of everything. It was so beautiful, but I didn't see how beautiful it was at the time, because I was still kind of attached or thinking my way of being successful would be through my investment banking or finance, even though in my heart, I always just wanted to share this love. And so I taught yoga and meditation, but it wasn't the same. I wasn't doing it full time. So I got down on my knees. And that's the big part of this precept. It's humbling yourself. It's getting down on your knees and really maybe beseeching God even, which I'm willing to do with you right now. During this filming, it's like, look, it's only when we really get down and say, Lord, please allow this body and mind to serve as a vehicle for your love and light and wisdom. It was only when I was willing to let go of everything else that everything came back in spades. So the way the divine works is so uncanny. I literally got to the point where I wasn't sure how I was going to feed myself. I had made millions, at least on paper, and then nothing. It was so amazing. And so I got down to the bluff, a place called Crystal Cove, and I got down on my knees and I said, Lord, whatever you want. I'll dig ditches, I'll clean latrines, I'll do whatever you want. I just don't want another day without you filling my life. I don't want to pursue it. If it's not to be in the field of money, what can I do to help? How can I serve? I figured the best thing I could do, like Christ or the Buddha, they lived their life to serve. The Maharishi, the Maharaj, their life was about serving others. That's the next precept, saying that life isn't about you, it's about serving others. So I got down on my knees, I prayed, and I said, whatever you want me to do, I'm a yes to that. And I got this confirmation. It was beautiful. It was an osprey that flew by. When I had climbed, I'd first done a vision quest when I was a young man, and I had a vision of a golden eagle had flown by. And Wallace Black Elk, the great Lakota Sioux elder, told me that was my totem, is the word the Native Americans use, a symbol from God. And so when I climbed the mountain of the Palisade to pray to God and got my vision, and God spoke to me, another golden eagle came in my moment of doubt. In a moment I thought, well, I must have been hallucinating because God doesn't speak to people. And all of a sudden this golden eagle shows up. So that was a sign for me. And so here I am down on my knees again, praying to God. And all of a sudden, just like my heart fills, as soon as I was really willing to let go, there's still a part of me kind of holding on. Hopefully I can, get something going again, some job opportunity or something. And as soon as I finally let go, like that last finger, it was holding on to the bar, I finally let go. I said, I am yours, 100%. I'm dedicating my life to serving you, Lord. What can I do? Just give me a sign. I came home. Well, first the osprey came by and screeched, which was my sign, my symbol, a totem, this raptor coming within a few feet of my face and screeching at me was kind of like God saying, hey, chill out. It's okay. You're going to be fine. And so I got home and I think, okay, well, that feels good. I feel I got my connection back and things are flowing, but what am I going to do? And then bring, the phone rings. It's this guy named Matt. I didn't remember him. He'd come to a seminar I'd done, knew that I led meditations. And he said he wanted a spiritual coach. I had no idea what a spiritual coach was. I never thought of that. But I said yes. I told God that I would do whatever, and he asked for help. He says, well, I want you to coach me. He says, I've tested all the teachers out there, and you had the highest calibrated level of consciousness I could find. I had no idea what that meant. And we're going to talk about that too, how you can actually measure what level you are at as you're going through this course. You're actually recalibrating to higher levels. You're starting to move into what's called the 500s. You're having an awakened state of consciousness. Some of you will start tapping into the 600s, which is actually an enlightened state of consciousness. And you can go as high as 7s and 8s even, although that's very rare. But in other words, there's different levels to your experience in the awakening. So I said yes to Matt. And I said, well, when do you want to meet? And he says, well, I don't want to meet. I don't have time to meet. I just want to do it over the phone. And he goes, you want to talk over the phone? I said, it seems strange. He goes, yeah, I do all my work on the phone. He's a very successful coach, business coach. And so he was used to coaching that way. So he wanted it done for his spiritual coaching, to do meditation and to recalibrate. He wanted help with the Shakti pot to recalibrate it. And it does an amazing job. And then he said he would pay me $500 a month. I thought, well, it doesn't pay all my rent, but it get me some food. So I said yes. The next day, he calls up, he goes, look, I work better in a group. So I've got 5 of my friends I want to join the call. We'll conference call it. And they're all going to pay too. So all of a sudden there was $3,000, which isn't necessarily all that much money, but it covered my expenses at the time. So all of a sudden my immediate need was covered within 24 hours. Just getting connected and opening my heart and letting the divine guide again was the key. And that's the point of this precept. I'm sharing my story with you so you can look at your life, and in those periods of despair or when you don't know what to do, well, now you do know what to do. You need to get on your knees and get humble and pray and just open to the guidance and then look for the opportunity to serve. The key is in starting to serve, to turn it around so it's no longer just about you, it's about the divine. It's about helping others. Your energy shifts from a contracted state into an open state. And now Spirit can start guiding you to more joy and happiness and peace. So now open your eyes. I want to do one more meditation. I want to start with an eye gazing. I want to really connect with you, spirit to spirit and soul to soul. I've kind of bared my soul to you. And I hope you take this in and allow yourself to go a little deeper now. Gaze into my eyes and feel the divine energy passing from my eyes into your eyes. And your eyes are divine eyes. From this day forward, you'll see the divine everywhere, in all things, in all people, all situations. Go ahead and close your eyes. Roll your eyes up, gaze at the point between the eyebrows. Take a deep breath. Draw the life force energy in. Feel your heart opening to receive. Lord, help me to be a pure vehicle for your love and light and wisdom. Now breathe out and let go. And let's just dive into the feeling together. Just let yourself go. Let yourself flow. And enjoy the feeling. Observe the feeling. Turn your awareness around 180 degrees and behold this. Thou art this. Realize this. Realization isn't a thing, it's this. Just be here. You are protected and guided by the divine in all your activities, day and night, in all places. May you enjoy good health, long life, prosperity, happiness, and peace. May the whole world live in peace. Can we take a minute to just think about a world living in peace? No more war. Just no more war. No more bombs. No more money being spent on super thises and that's. We spend more money on education and health, eating natural foods. We go back organic. We stop using chemicals, and we get back to nature. We get back in touch with the natural flow, the ecosystem. We develop a kind and healthy relationship with animals. We stop eating meat. Meat is carcinogenic. The World Health Organization classifies processed meat as a class 1 carcinogen. It's not only the main cause of heart disease, meat and dairy products, but it's also the main cause of cancer. It's a carcinogen. It's cancer causing. So I just want to invite everyone to consider vegetarian or even veganism, just adding more vegetables, organic vegetables into your diet. Let's picture a world where we're healthy. The oceans are clean and the rivers and lakes and all the food is natural and full of vitamins, and we have a robust health. We're physically healthy. We're mentally healthy. We think good thoughts. We love people. This is our natural state. Let us be the ones to create this world.